Hey, this is Mark Williams of Swine Barbecue. Today we're cooking a roasted garlic flat iron. Two of my favorite things when it comes to eating is a good cut of beef packed with a ton of garlic flavor. We're gonna be cooking this today on the Grilla Grills cone directly over some roll up charcoal. We're going to get that good sear, that good crust on the outside. It's gonna be a heck of a flat iron. Let's get started. The first thing we gotta do to this flat iron is get a good layer of salt on it. Now most flat irons don't need any trimming, but you can always flip them over and look on the backside. You really want to take any silver skin off you see. This one looks good. For salt today, I'm using Townsend Spice fine sea salt. I love this on beef because it is so fine, it's almost like a powder. It soaks right in that beef, goes to work as soon as it hits that surface. So we're gonna get kind of a light to medium coat. And like I say, this salt here is super, super fine. As you can tell, I mean, it dissolves instantly. So we'll just kind of get it patted in. Get it flipped over to the top side. Now you do see this line of silver skin right here. That runs pretty deep in there. We're not gonna be able to do anything about that, but that's not gonna affect the cook. It's still gonna turn out a great flat iron. So same thing on this side, good little layer of salt. Kind of rub it around if it goes heavy in places. So you can see I got this flat iron on this raised rack. Now I'm gonna leave it just like this and get it put in the fridge. I want good air circulation all the way around it. That way it'll kind of almost salt brine this flat iron. We're gonna leave it in the fridge for about an hour. That'll give us plenty of time to get this roasted garlic marinade made up, and then we're gonna get this flat iron in that garlic. So to make our roasted garlic marinade, we're gonna start off with a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then we're gonna squeeze a little bit of our spice world garlic, about a 1/2 cup, and then get that in a small saucepan. Put it over medium heat, give it a stir now and then, and then once you get that good golden brown color you're looking for, you're ready to get it off the heat and allow it to cool. So we got our roasted garlic made. Our flat iron was in the fridge for about an hour, and as you can tell, it's done got a dark red color, pulled a bunch of moisture out. It's time to get this in this garlic. So all I'm gonna do is slide this off to the side a little bit. I got a gallon Ziploc bag. We're just gonna take this flat iron, get it in the bag, kind of lay it out flat. And we got our roasted garlic, a little bit of olive oil still in there from when we made it. Of course, it's done cooled off down to room temp. Get it sealed up. And all we're gonna do now is just kind of rub that garlic around, toss that steak around in it, get all the surfaces of this flat iron covered. So we're gonna leave this flat iron in this marinade for about 2 hours. At the 2 hour mark, I'll get out here, we'll get this cone fired up, and we're getting it on the pit. To get this Grilla Grills cone fired up, I'm gonna fill the basket up with some royal oak lump charcoal. We'll get 2 tumbleweeds placed in the center, get them lit, and then we're gonna leave the lid open until we get a good bed of coals going. So you can tell we got a good little bed of coals going. I'm gonna go ahead and get the lid shut on this cone. I'm not putting the cooking grates in just yet. I want them to be cold when we put the steak on. That way it don't char the outside of it too quick. So we're gonna get the lid closed, open the top wide open, let it start coming up, and then we're gonna be shooting for that 500, 550 for a good sear. So we're out here at the Grilla Grills cone. It's come up to about 550 degrees. Our flat iron's been marinating for 2 hours. We're fixing to get it on. And now we're gonna get our grates put on. Like I say, we left these off so they'll stay cool. I'm gonna start this flat iron on the top grate. That way we don't get it too dark on the front end. We can slowly sear it as we need it. All this oil is gonna make it wanna flare up right at first. Left all that garlic on, you can tell it's still sitting on top of that steak. So we'll get the lid closed and we'll check on it here in about 1 minute. So this flat iron's been on here for a minute. Let's see what our color's looking like. We can adjust as need. Some of that garlic's starting to brown. It ain't got much color yet, but we'll get there. We'll get the lid shut. Flat iron's been another minute. Let's see how we're going. She's starting to get a little bit more color here. Oh yeah, we're just gonna keep moving it, get the color we need, let it go another minute. So we got our top rack out of the way. That way we got full surface area now. All we're doing is moving around, finding the good hot spots, getting that good color. You can see it's getting a good sear right there. Won't be but a few more minutes, this flat iron will be done. So total cook time's been about 8 minutes, hitting about the 127. We're gonna call that one done. All we're gonna do is flip it one more time. Oh, you've got a pretty good color. Get it placed on this plate, and then we're gonna let this baby rest. We let this flat iron rest for about 15 minutes, and let me tell you, the whole house smells just like roasted garlic. I can't wait to try this flat iron. Just as a quick recap, we start off with a whole flat iron, got a good layer of salt on it, and then we put it in the fridge and let it dry brown for about an hour. While it was in the fridge, we went ahead and browned our garlic, made our roasted garlic marinade, and then once it come out of the fridge, we got it in a Ziploc bag and let it marinate for about 2 hours. Of course, we cooked on the Grilla Grills cone, got it running about 550, 600 degrees, and got a good even sear on it. Now, I wasn't shooting for that real dark sear because I didn't want to burn what garlic was left on the outside of that flat iron. We wanted to just get it a little bit brown and get a good roasted flavor. And let me tell you, I think we nailed it and it smells awesome. So with this flat iron, all I'm gonna do is just slice it across the grain, the full width. What you can do with this is it's great by itself, but this works really good on tacos, sandwiches, anything like that. It's a good starter for any big recipe. So we know our grain's running long ways. I'm gonna come in here and just slice it right across. We're gonna do some about 1/8 inch slice, you know, brisket slice widths, and it feels super tender. I mean, this knife is just melting right through it. Of course, we had to shingle it back so y'all can see all its glory. Got a good medium rare to medium cook. It carried over a little bit because it is warm out here tonight, but I mean, you can't tell that right there ain't packed full of juice. Perfect cook on it. Now the moment of truth. Of course, tender as can be. That roasted garlic shines through. That texture is perfect. I could eat this whole thing by myself. I'm going to go in here and get me another little bite. You get a little salt note, but then that garlic hits you. It's just this perfect roasted garlic flavor. That right there is where it's at. That's a wrap for us today at Swine Life. We appreciate you checking this video out. Y'all got to give a flat iron a try this way. That garlic really shines through. Man, this would be great all by itself or even on tacos. If y'all got any questions, shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram. And as always, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see y'all next time.